A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Mackenna, and this is the Following On podcast. I'm alongside the former West Indian batter Philo Wallace and the co-host of the Caribbean Cricket podcast, Machel St Patrick Hewitt, to look back at the fourth T20 between the West Indies and England as the West Indies chased down 229 to win by 5 wickets. Another game where the team winning the toss won the game, although that doesn't really tell you the full story. We'll be discussing that. We'll hear from some of the key players involved tonight, and we'll look ahead to the final game of the series tomorrow. So plenty to come over the next few minutes. This is Following On. Well, what a performance. What a game of cricket. Yes, you can argue the series has already gone, but it was a heck of a game. This fourth game of this 5-match T20 series. England 3-0 up, of course, coming into this fourth game, so they already had the series in the bag. But for the first time, the West Indies won the toss. And as we alluded to there in the introduction, win the toss, win the game. Yeah, not quite as straightforward as that. England put 218 for 5 on the board, batting first from their 20 overs. Salt 55, Jacks 25, Butler 38, Bethel 62, Livingston 4, Curran 24 were the batters used. Gudakesh Moti was the most successful in terms of the wicket takers with 2 for 40, although Alzari Joseph bowled really well, 1 for 33 from 4. So the West Indies was at 219 to win. The highest successful run chase in St Lucia previously was 197 for 7. So they were being asked to go a long way past that, and it would actually be the highest total on the ground, because 218 for 5 by England equalled the West Indies against Afghanistan earlier this year. So we're talking record-breaking potential. But the way that Evan Lewis and Shai Hope went out, it was almost a done thing pretty early on. Lewis made 68 from 31, Hope 54 from 24, but they were dismissed in consecutive balls. Pooran made it 3 in 3 in a team hat-trick from England as Rayan Ahmed took 2 wickets, and then there was a run-out. And then Rodman Powell 38 from 23, Shimron Hetmeyer 7 from 9, and Shafane Rutherford and Roston Chase saw it home, 29 from 17 balls from Rutherford. Chase 9 from 8. The West Indies not only won by 5 wickets, but did so with 6 balls to spare. It was a quite remarkable set of circumstances. Rayan Ahmed 3 for 43 from his 4 overs. Turner 1 for 42 from 4 on his international debut, plus the run-out. The West Indies win this game. I have to therefore turn immediately to my right and the former West Indian batter Philo Wallace. What an incredible game of cricket. What an incredible win for the West Indies.
Yes, a very good win for West Indies. Obviously 3-0 down in a 5-match series coming into this fourth game with all the odds against them, and then stack even higher, having to chase down the highest total of 219 to win. And they've done that with 6 balls to spare. When you look at the way they've approached the run chase, you can say that it was picture perfect. I thought the pitch as well at the Darren Sammy Stadium played wonderfully well. It's the same pitch they used on Thursday, so just obviously a lot firmer, not as much moisture as in the Thursday game, and the outfield obviously would have quickened up. But again, the execution by Hope and Lewis at the top, a perfect start to any run chase. And I said in the beginning, in order to chase down targets of such, you need a good start, and that is what they had. And they continued on their merry way. They lost 3 wickets, but then Rahman Powell, the captain, continued to show his consistency. And this guy, Rutherford, he's coming to his own in Sri Lanka. He's not had the best of T20 series, but you can see his skills. And he's very composed. He was lucky, yes. Could have been out. He hit the ball between 4 fielders. But on the day, you will bet Rutherford to win games for you. And that was well done by him. And obviously that will give West Indies a big boost going into tomorrow's game.
And Mash, as I turn to you, it's almost an even bigger boost for the fact that they've won this game. That at half-time, they're probably thinking, oh, blimey, because we've said for the last couple of days, average score batting first in St Lucia in T20 games is 160. England have gone miles past that with 218. I can think of a lot of sides that would have gone, well, what chance have we got there for? But actually, the way that Lewis and Hope came out was phenomenal. Let's just get some thoughts on the England innings and the way they approached it, because we said England actually wouldn't mind batting first on this because they need some practice and work out, how to set scores. Boy, did they set a score.
Yeah, no, I don't think England can look back at their batting and say, I'm sure they'll be critical and say, we might have left 10, 15 out there. I think, because actually if you look back at about the 18th over, I want to say they were 200ers up. And then there was a point where I thought, actually, they could get 240 here. So you could say West Indies slightly brought it back right at the death. I think Obed didn't go for much in the final one, so on and so forth. But 218, 9 times out of 10, you're winning with that total. So it's hard to be critical of the England's batting approach. I thought the ball played true. They could hit through the line. But in many ways, the West Indies would have looked at that and thought, well, that plays to our strength. And we like to chase. We've added an extra batter. So it wouldn't have surprised me if at the halfway stage they probably did fancy themselves to chase it down, just because of how true it was playing. But there'll be questions that both teams, I think, once West Indies have got past the high of the victory, I think there'll be questions that both teams will be asking themselves, in so much as it's been a chasing series thus far. England, yes, will be glad that they got a chance to set a total. West Indies have shown they can't set a total. And England will possibly look at their bowling today and say, how effective are we without Jofra? West Indies might look at their bowling and say, can we really get by in a T20 match with only 5 bowlers? So there's still lots of unanswered questions that both sides have got, and I don't want to be too down on the West Indian performance. A win is a win is a win. But if you win doing what your strength is, what have you learnt in that win? But a win is a win is a win.
Absolutely. All donations gratefully received and all of that. There's got to be some key moments in any game, in any win. And Philo, you and I were actually talking about this off air earlier on, when we were talking about the one over of Liam Livingstone. Liam Livingstone bowled the 8th over of the West Indian reply. It went for 30. Now, all of a sudden, if that goes at a regulation 12, 14, all of a sudden it's a different game. West Indies win this game with 6 balls to spare, chasing down 219. Now, look, I'm not blaming Liam Livingstone, whatever, but there's normally a moment or two in a game. That feels like a really big moment now.
Yeah, when you look back at it in the bowling department, Livingston won over that went for 30 runs. You even said if he was a lot tighter, maybe England would have stand a chance of winning. And it goes to show that you just, in this game called T20 cricket, you just need that one over that can break the shackles.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joss Butler's speaking with Nikhil at the presentation ceremony. Let's hear from the England captain.
And Jack's putting pressure on them, and I thought we needed at least 220.
Right, and given that you got the 218, they got off to a really good start. Just give us some insight into how, as captain, you're using the field placings to try to put pressure on them.
Yeah, I think obviously they played exceptionally well. They put us under a lot of pressure. So, it's just trying to do something different, try and drag their attention away somehow. They're hitting it over the fielders when they're in sort of conventional positions. So we just thought about trying to create something with people in different areas, or just trying to take their focus away.
And obviously we didn't see Jamie Overton tonight bowling. How is he doing? Is he good? Was that just management?
Yeah, he's good. We've just have to manage his workload throughout the series. So unfortunately he couldn't bowl today.
A quick word on Ryan Ahmed. Obviously hasn't played a lot of T20 cricket for you guys. Where is he fitting into the plans of you guys in the T20 format?
Yeah, I think wrist spinners are like gold dust in T20 cricket in terms of wicket takers, and you need to find ways to take wickets, and I thought he was very brave today with the way he bowled. He got us back into the game by that one over where we created those chances. So he's a young guy full of confidence, and can see him playing a big part in the future.
And just quickly, series is won. What would you like to see improve slightly tomorrow?
Nothing much really, to be honest. I thought we played pretty well. I thought it was a really good performance, batting first to put up a really good score and put the West Indies under pressure, and they played well to chase it down.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow then. Go well. Joss Butler, England captain.
Thank you, Nikhil. So there you go, the England captain in conversation with Nikhil Chandani at the presentation ceremony. Just going to pause, see if we can hear from Rodman Powell just quickly. Yes, we can.
I think the guys were a little bit more committed today. Obviously the toss fall in our hands. It's been a series where once you win the toss, you seem to win the game. But having said that, I think the guys play well today.
Give us some insight into your selection. You guys went in with the 5 out-and-out bowlers. We saw you bowl as well.
Yeah, it's always a thing where we're trying to tinker with our selection to see our best combination. We realize that maybe 5 bowlers isn't our best suit, but sometimes based on the combination we would have to use it. Shepherd, because of the wet outfield the last one, he come up with a sore grind. So we were forced today to only use 5 bowlers.
Rodman, touch on Alzari Joseph, his spell today, but also how you see him leading your attack going into that next T20 World Cup.
Yeah, he's very, very important for us, and we know that, we are like that. He's the spirit of our attack for a long time now. It's just for other bowlers to keep on getting close to his standard, and once, as a bowling group, we keep on improving, we should be okay.
And how have you and the think tank sort of thought about deepening the pool of fast bowling reserves in the Caribbean and for your T20 side?
To be honest, we don't have a lot. We've been looking around the Caribbean. You see, we just carrying Obed McCoy because we're really looking around the Caribbean for bowlers. So it's an opportunity for bowlers in the Caribbean, wherever they are, to just keep on putting good performance. The coach is looking out. But having said that, I think the guys are actually trying. It's been very tough for us as a bowling group this series, but commend the guys all the way. They are trying.
All right, and looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. As I said in the last meeting, is that 3-2 is better than 3-1 or 4-1. You understand? So there's still a lot to play for. The people of St Lucia have paid their money and come out to watch us win games, and we're trying our best to do that for them.
Thank you for your honesty as always.
Rodman Powell in conversation with Nikhil Chandani. I tell you what, I wish you could see Rodman Powell as he's doing that interview, because his team have just won a record-breaking run chase. And he looks like he's lost a fiver and found a pound. He looks dejected. Now, look, it might be a case of, look, you've won a game when the series is already gone. Let's not be too triumphalistic about it. But that's a heck of a run chase. I want him to be a bit more enthused by the whole thing. Am I wrong here, Philo?
There's no emotion at all coming from him. No excitement in his voice. Nothing. But yet the team went out there and batted and won a high chasing game. And you should show a bit more flair, feel confident in yourself when you speak. But obviously he will say, well, we're 3-1 down, we have 1 to go. If you win this 3-2, we lost. But he said in the meeting that it's better to lose 3-2 than to lose 4-1. So this is one step closer to getting that second game. And winning this game tonight is a big achievement. It would have pushed England back, because England, obviously, there's no Rashid, there's no Joffa Archer, Overton did not bowl, Liam Livingston bowled 1 for 30, so there's a lot of positives for West Indies. England obviously have to rethink and rejiggle what they're going to do in the final game. Shakil Mahmood has bowled wonderfully well, but he did not pick up any early wickets, and that is another plus in the West Indies camp. And the good start that they had, that is something that they know that they can build on starting from tomorrow. Shea Hope, Evan Lewis, that combination has worked tonight because of sensible batting. We don't know what surface they're going to use tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the same one, and it'll set it up. But I don't want to hear you win the toss, you win the game. I want to hear we chased the target down successfully because we had good partnerships going through the innings up to the 19th over.
I think we might be on the same pitch tomorrow, just looking what they're currently doing. It looks like normally, if you've finished with the pitch, they're normally out there with an enormous hose watering it, whatever, and they're not, which makes me think we might be on the same one again tomorrow. And to be fair, it's played like an absolute belter this evening, so why not give it another go? Mash, just from a West Indian point of view, just to pick up on that about Rodman Powell, does he need to sort of stick his chest out a little bit more and say, and almost come out with the, well, when we get it right, that's what we can do kind of thing, just to sort of buoy everybody up a bit?
So my working theory on why I took that interview as a very kind of business-like approach to it. And let me explain, in so much as under his captaincy alongside Darren Sammy, they've won an awful lot of series. The quality of the opposition notwithstanding, they've won in South Africa, beat South Africa at home twice, beat England last year, beat India last year, went into that World Cup genuinely believing they could win the World Cup. So this will be the first series, I think, since Australia. Actually, they played Australia and lost 2-1 earlier in the year. But this will be a rare series defeat. So I just wonder if part of it is, yeah, we've played well, but that's too little too late. And we should have shown up earlier in the series. So I think let's see, if they win tomorrow, argument's sake, let's see how buoyant he is then in terms of overall reflections. But I think it's just more a case of that Darren Sammy and Rotherham Powell aren't actually used to losing as a T20 side.
Very interesting as well. Josh Butler saying there about Overton not bowling this evening. It was basically he's not down to bowl today because it is going to be a bowl one day rest. So that would put him available to bowl tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see. England made a change coming into today with Turner replacing Jofra Archer. It meant that Archer and Adil Rashid were sitting out on the sideline. With the series already won, they have that ability, therefore, to mix it and match, give some other players a bit of a go. Now, do we therefore get to see Pepper tomorrow in the final game? I think he's with Jeffrey Chauhan already having gone home. I think he's therefore the only member of the squad who hasn't got any action and game time so far. So it will be interesting to see if he does make an appearance in this series. So there's one game to go. We'll be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. It is 7:30 on air in time for the toss. First ball at 8 o'clock in the evening as we round this whole thing off in St Lucia once again with the fifth and final T20 International. England are 3-1 up. They've lost one this evening, but in fairness, it was an absolute thriller from start to finish and a privilege to bring it to you here on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel and here on talkSPORT 2.